Hello everybody, welcome back to Yoga Deidra. Following me on Instagram or follow me from the Plymouth Yoga Studio. I am here in a different spot within my house today to try to get the full view of my yoga mat and not get cut off this week. Every week is a new learning experience, right? This week I'll be doing another Vinyasa slow flow more so type of class. It will still be suited for pregnancy and also for people who are not only just beginners wanting to start their yoga practice journey, or if you're a little more advanced and you're just wanting to find something to really dig into and do a little bit of self-discovering today. So wherever you are, let's just get onto your mat. Find yourself in a nice seated position. I again am elevating my hips slightly by using a blanket. And just get comfortable situating yourself on top of your hips. Your shoulders are in line. Your head is over your heart. You start lengthening your spine up tall, all the way through the crown of your head. Starting to melt into today's practice by tuning in with your breath. Becoming present in this moment. We are still in uncertain times. The waters have not been tested, yet we are surviving. Surviving in the unknown, and we have two paths we can go down. One path is led by fear and worry, allowing it to swallow you whole. This path you are trying so hard to get back to your old ways, to what you knew to be safe, but you have no idea how to remake it again. The other path is the one led by faith and curiosity. Faith in knowing you'll make it through one way or another. Curiosity in what you can bring with you from the old safe way, and what you can do to reshape your life for something even brighter. A path of self-discovery and love, openness and acceptance in the unknown. This can be the time you can reshape who you are. It's your choice. Which path do you want to take? I've just been thinking a lot about allowing this time to define how I'm spending it. And a lot of it has been a bunch of mixed emotions, so whether that be anxiety and worry, or again, that curiosity and faith in knowing that, I can use this time to sit and be anxious, or I can do a little bit of digging within inside myself and see how I can remake this into a whole new experience. So it's just a little bit of a thought. So continuing to be on our seated position, let's bring this thought into a pranayama breathing exercise called Samavriti. It's simply an equal breath, and I will be guiding you through this the whole time. But let's just bring a little bit of emphasis onto this today. One hand, your left hand, can go on your heart, and the other hand can go on your belly, or for you mamas out there, allowing it to connect to your baby. And we are simply going to draw our normal breath in through our nose, but you're going to feel your belly rise and expand as you draw that breath in. And then you feel at the top of your breath, your chest start to lift as well, creating your full lung capacity. Nice, long and drawn out. And then on your exhale, you feel your chest fall first, deflating your lungs at the top, and then allowing that breath to go all the way down into your belly as your belly collapses as well. And just connect here with your breath. in each part of your body. And I am once again going to guide you through an equal breath count, so an equal inhalation and an equal exhalation, but we will have a second for our retention at the top and the bottom of the breath. We'll start at a count of 3 and we'll work up our way to a count of 5. All right, so let's close your eyes or have a soft gaze out in front of you. And you're going to inhale. 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, hold, exhale, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release. Go through your natural rhythm now, seeing how your lungs have expanded, if that was a bit of a challenge for you, or if you felt that you could even have gone longer with a more extended breath. Just taking notice. And then let's just simply place our hands on top of our legs, and we're going to just do a little bit of a neck release here. On an inhale breath, just start to go in a yes position, so bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling, just moving your chin up towards the sky. And then on an exhale breath, you're going to draw your chin down towards your chest. Not arching so much in your back. This is really just a movement within your neck. Inhale, up. Exhale, chin to chest. Taking your time to get from one end to the other. Go through this at your own pace. Keeping your shoulders relaxed and away from your ears. Your spine still long above your hips. Go through one more round, and then we'll meet with our chin at our chest. Once your chin is towards your chest, you're going to take your hands and gently place them on the back of your head and gently push down. Just feeling that stretch becoming a little bit more intense on the back side of your neck, stemming down to your upper back. Doing this mindfully to not press too hard. Should be a nice gentle release. Take another round of breath here. Release your hands and place them back behind you. On your next inhale, look all up towards the sky and really just lengthen your throat out long, chin really reaching up towards the sky here. Opening up your chest, letting your heart shine forward. Take another round of breath here. And then exhale, release back towards center. We're going to simply now just, on an inhale breath, we are going to just draw it in towards our nose. Use your exhale to bring your ear, your left ear, towards your left shoulder. Just dropping your ear towards your shoulder. Maybe you want to extend out your right hand. Just to lengthen out that stretch even more down the side of your neck. I even feel this a little bit within my arm. Go through another round of breath. Using your next inhalation to draw your head back up towards center. Use your next exhalation to bring your right ear towards your right shoulder and just anchor your left arm out, creating a nice elongated stretch. Go through another round of breath. And once again, allow your inhale breath to draw your head back up towards center. You can take this time to remove the blanket or block from underneath you, and we're going to make our way to a tabletop position, preparing for some cats and cows. Placing your shoulders directly over top your wrists, your hips directly over your knees, and then planting your shins into the mat here. We inhale for our cow, dipping our bellies towards the mat, shining your heart forward. Exhale, rounding our back upwards for cat, feeling that tension melt onto our mats. Stemming this movement from our tailbone, we inhale once again for cow, ending with the crown of our head. Exhale, rounding that tailbone down for cat. Ending again, the crown of our head down towards our mat. Go at this at your own pace, awakening up the body. Go through another round at your own. Once you're done, meet in a tabletop position. And we're going to go in towards a gate pose from here. So we're going to extend back our right foot so that it's perpendicular towards our left hand. And we're going to twist our left knee back 90 degrees. We're going to open our right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Gazing up at our fingertips. You can stay right here. If you'd like, you can raise your right leg off the mat Again, stay here, or if you'd like to do a little bit of a heart opener, bend your right knee back behind you and reach for the tops of your toes with your right hand, creating more of a dancer-like position. Maybe smile. Release, extending back out. Take another breath. And then circle yourself back towards tabletop. Go through a couple more rounds of cat and cow. After your third round, we'll meet at a tabletop position once again. And I'll show you what this gate pose looks from the back side. Extending back the left leg, keeping our shoulder in line with our right wrist. We'll inhale that left leg, arm up towards the ceiling. We can turn our right foot 90 degrees back behind us for more stability. You can raise your left leg off the mat if you'd like. And then you can bend your left knee back behind you and you're reaching for the top of your toes. Creating a nice heart opener here. Extend outward, stay here for another breath. And then circle yourself back towards your tabletop position. Making your way there, you can decide which form of child's pose you'd like to go into. Today I'm choosing an extended child's pose with my legs on the outer edges of my mat, toes pointing in, and my arms reach out as I exhale, my hips over my heels. Fully surrender with whatever option you're choosing. And just breathe. Come back to which path you're willing to take. Knowing again that it's completely your decision. Maybe you want to massage your third eye here by turning your forehead from one side to the other. It's a nice way to just awaken up your intuitive spot. Take another round of breath here. When you're ready, on an inhale breath, you can lift yourself back up. Widen your hands a little bit out towards the more edges of your mat. Curl your toes underneath and lift your hips up and back for your first downward facing dog. Start to pedal it out. Lowering one heel and then the other, awakening up your hamstrings. Making sure to lift your hip points up towards the ceiling, spine down long towards your mat. Your head is between your arms here as the arms are externally rotating outwards towards your fingertips. Slowly find stillness, allowing your heels to reach down towards the mat. And just take a breath here. Using your next inhalation, look up towards your hands, bend your knees, and take a bunch of little steps up towards your forward fold. Going to your leg width distance of your choosing. If you're pregnant, you might need a little bit more of a wider stance. And fully exhale at the top. Allowing your belly to drape over your thighs here. This hinge is coming from our hips. Crown of our head reaching down towards our mat. We'll take an inhale breath up towards a halfway lift. Hands on the shins or the thighs. Creating a nice 90-degree angle as we reach the crown of our head out in front of us. And then exhale, release back down. Ground down through your feet and lift yourself all the way up towards standing. Arms reach up. Clasp all your fingertips but your pointer fingers and reach upwards for another inhale breath. Exhale, engage your core and tilt it slightly backwards for a micro back bend. Pressing your hips forward just slightly. We'll inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, release down, plant your hands in the mat, step back towards a plank position. Inhale here. Exhale, lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. You'll inhale, bend your knees, look up towards your hands, and either step or jump on up towards your forward fold. Exhale completely. Inhale to the halfway lift. Exhale, release back down. Ground down through your feet, engage your core and lift yourself all the way up. Arms reach, clasping all but your pointer fingers. Inhale for another breath. Exhale, engage your core and tilt back slightly, pressing your hips forward. Use the next inhale to lift yourself back towards center. Exhale, hands down towards your heart. Anjali Mudra. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Step back just your right foot, low lunge. We're going to just do some calf stretches here by teetering or ball our foot towards the top of our toes, back and forth. Keeping your core engaged. Plant both hands on the mat, step your left foot back, plank pose, inhale. Exhale, lower yourself down, chaturanga. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale your hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. Take a breath. You can inhale your left leg up and back behind you for a stretch. Stay here or bend that knee 90 degrees and rotate your hip out towards the side, keeping your shoulders parallel to the front of your mat. Inhaling, bringing your hips back towards center. You can exhale, hugging your knee up towards your chest. Step it up, low lunge, inhale here. Exhale, step your right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, release back down. Ground down through your feet, lift yourself all the way up. Arms reach. Hands clasp all but your pointer finger. Inhale once again, find length. Exhale, tilt back slightly, engaging your core. Inhale back towards center. Exhale, hands towards heart. Inhale once again, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to the halfway lift. Exhale, release down, step back, just your left foot this time, low lunge. Teeter back and forth for a little calf stretch here. From the ball of your foot to the tippy toes. Plant both hands on the mat. Step back towards a plank position. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Elbows hug in. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. You can raise your right leg up and back behind you for a stretch. Stay here or bend your right knee to 90 degree. Rotating your hip open towards the side. Again, shoulders are parallel towards the front. Inhale your hips back towards center. Exhale, hug your knee and knee to chest. Inhale, step your foot up, low lunge. Exhale, step your left foot up to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale to the halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Ground down through your feet, lift yourself all the way up towards standing arms, reach up. Exhale. Actually, clasp all with your one finger, pointer finger reaching upwards. And exhale, tilt back, engaging your core. Inhale, back up towards center. Exhale, Anjali Mudra. Now that we've successfully warmed up the body, let's just come to the center of our mat. We're going to find a nice power stance here. Finding a nice wide stance where your heels are pointing in and your toes are pointing out. You're going to inhale your arms up, fingers spread out wide. We find star pose or pentacle pose. Taking up as much space as we can. Breathing fully. This is a great pose to build up your inner power. Allowing the universe to know that you're here, that you're taking up this space. Maybe give another smile, brighten everything. From this point, let's sink our hips down, coming to more of a squat or a goddess pose. Our hands can come towards our heart center. And we're making sure that our legs are in line with our toes here. So we're kind of pressing them outwards. We can still see our big toes. Making sure everything is in alignment. We feel the energy swirling within our upper thighs here. Let's inhale, reach back up to star pentacle pose. Exhale, sink down, goddess. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, sink. Inhale, reach, gaze upwards even. Exhale, sink back down. Inhale, once again, arms reach, gaze is up. Exhale, sink and hold. We can even just pulsate here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach yourself back up. From this point, let's just bring our feet so they're parallel to one another and our hands can come to our waist. We inhale, lengthen our spine even higher up. Exhale, hinging from our hips, we find a wide-legged forward fold. Allowing the crown of our head to reach down towards our mat, we have to probably play with the spacing of our feet. Walking your hands so that they're in line with your feet, drawing your crown of your head towards the earth. Even if you want to extend your arms back between your legs to intensify the stretch. Let's inhale, lengthen ourselves out long. Finding a little bit of movement now. We have two options. We could either walk our hands from our left towards our right and just stay here. Or we can do more of a skandasana, where we will inhale, walk ourselves up towards our left. Our left knee bends forward, coming to the ball of your foot, and you bring your right toes up towards the sky, keeping a micro bend in your knee here to not go into hyperextension. You're going to inhale, lift your hips up, walk yourself over towards your right. Exhale, drawing your right knee out in front. Left toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, walk over. Coming to the ball of your left foot. Right toes up towards the sky. Inhale, walk over towards the right. Being mindful while you do this. Feeling the stretch in our hamstrings and calves. Coming back towards center once you feel satisfied. And you can either release here or do a twist if you'd like. Let's lengthen our spine out long for a more of a flat back position. Bring your hands up towards our hips. Engage your core and inhale, lift yourself back up towards standing. We're going to find Malasana or Yogi squat from here. This is a great pose for if you're pregnant to build up your hip opening strength. We're going to still have a wider stance than hip width distance, but it's not going to be as wide as our wide-legged forward fold. Our heels are still pointing in and our toes are pointing out. And you might need a book or a block to place underneath your seat if you are having trouble bringing your seat down towards the earth. Your heels might actually also want to lift in this stance. That's perfectly okay. But what we are going to be aiming to do is simply lowering yourself all the way down in between our legs. And we're going to press our elbows into the inner parts of our thighs, drawing your hands towards our heart, feeling the stretch along the inner thighs here. And if you are pregnant, this might be a great time to do some Kegels, some pelvic floor exercises to strengthen. We'll stay here for a couple rounds of breath. So just get comfortable. And if this isn't feeling comfortable whatsoever, please go back up to your goddess pose or your star pose. Take another round of breath here. And then press your hands into the mat. Lift your hip points upwards, all the way back up towards standing. We'll come to the front of our mat once again. From this point in mountain, we're just going to find a warrior one stance. So from here we can inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to our halfway lift. Exhale, release down, step back your right foot. Find your warrior one footing by dropping that heel, allowing your toes to be coming at 1 or 2 o'clock. Find your stance, and from here, lift yourself up, warrior one. Drawing your left knee directly over top your left ankle. Your hip points are still facing the front of your mat. So you lengthen up long through your fingertips and you anchor down through your right back heel into the earth. Hugging muscle to bone here. Creating a nice strong foundation. Let's bring your arms back behind us, binding them, pressing your heart out forward. We can stay right here, or if you'd like, you can exhale, come to a humble warrior. Drawing your left shoulder towards your left thigh. Your arms are pointing up towards the ceiling. If you're farther along in your pregnancy and you're finding that it's harder to get your belly down, just stay in your upright position. Engage your core and inhale yourself back up. Draw your arms back up towards warrior one. Exhale, let's plant our hands down on the mat, finding a low lunge. You can even lower this back heel or back leg. If you need a little bit of extra cushion, you can bring this blanket that you had earlier, or you can even fold the mat, creating a little bit more cushion for your leg. Your toes can go down onto the mat, and we're simply going to just stretch our hips forward, sinking into this low lunge, but still keeping our left knee directly over our ankle. We're going to exhale, coming towards a half split, sinking your hips over our right knee, drawing our left toes up towards the ceiling. We'll inhale, walk ourselves forward, low lunge. Exhale, sink back, half split. Go through this 2 more rounds using your breath. We'll meet in our half split, lifted. In our half split, we'll just sink over here. We will draw our fingertips back towards our right knee. Crown our head down long towards our shin. Let's inhale, bring ourselves back towards our low lunge. Curl our toes underneath. Lift our leg up. Place our fingers on the mat, step back, plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, finding a downward facing dog. Take a breath. Let's inhale that left leg up and back behind you for a stretch. Hug it in knee to nose. Inhale, step it up, low lunge. Exhale, step your right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Ground onto your feet, lift yourself all up towards standing, arms reach. Exhale, hands towards heart. Breathe. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, release down. Step back your left foot this time, finding a low lunge. Lower that back heel, finding warrior one position. Your toes are pointing about 10 or 11 o'clock. Find your foundation and inhale, lifting your arms up overhead. Making sure your hips are still facing the front as you anchor down to that back left heel. Making sure you can still see your right toes so that you know your legs are in a nice alignment there as well. Feeling strong and open. Looking out at which path you'd like to take. Let's clasp our hands back behind us and shine our heart forward. Allowing yourself to choose the path of faith and curiosity. Allowing this time to help us rediscover who we truly are. Let us not have fear and worry define who we are. Exhale, come towards your humble warrior if you choose. By taking this time to do yoga, you are choosing that path of faith and curiosity as we do practice. Inhale, engage your core, lift yourself up, arms reach up. Exhale, plant your hands in the mat, come towards a low lunge. You can even lower that back leg down. Sink into that front hip. Sink your hips back, half splits, right toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale forwards. Exhale back. Going through this, I have a total of 3 rounds. We'll meet in our lifted half splits. From your lifted half split point, exhale, fold over even more, chop your right leg. Drawing your fingertips back towards your left knees. Let's inhale, sink forward once again, low lunge. Curling your toe underneath you, lift back that leg. Plant both hands on the mat, step back, plank pose. Move through your last vinyasa. Lowering down, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale up to your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Once you feel satisfied, you can choose once again which version of child's pose you'd like. And make your way there slowly, surrendering yourself down towards the mat, finding your breath. Allowing new ways of how you can rediscover your inner self, your true self. Allowing those ways to come to your intuition, your forefront of your mind. Let's inhale, lift ourselves upwards. Finding a seat, drawing your legs out in front of you. If you have a blanket, this would be a great time to place your hip points, elevating them slightly. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. Just draw your feet out in front of you. We're going to find a staff pose. So your toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Your hands are going to come firmly down by either hip point. You're going to inhale, drawing your spine up towards the ceiling, lengthening out long. Your heart is over your hips and your head is over your heart. From here, we're gonna find a forward fold. So whichever version you'd like to take, it can be a closed-legged forward fold, or for me, since I need a little bit more space for my belly, I'm gonna find a wide-legged forward fold. Wherever you're choosing, let's all inhale our arms up overhead, finding length. Exhale, hinging from our hips, we lower our hands down towards the mat or towards our feet. Extending your spine out long. Rather than rounding forward, the hinge is coming from our hips, and we find length through our spine. Toes are still pointed up towards the ceiling. Anchor your calves down into the earth, keeping your legs activated. If you need a micro bend in your knees, that's perfectly fine. Engage your core and walk yourself back up on an inhale breath. Let's all come towards a wide-legged position. We're going to do a side bend from here. So let's just draw in our right leg towards our left inner thigh. And you're going to center your torso over your left thigh. So I have to reposition your hip points slightly. You're going to inhale, lifting your arms up once again. And exhale, just folding over your left leg this time. Take another round of breath here. Engage your core. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Come back towards your wide-legged position. And this time, draw your left leg in towards your right inner thigh. Center your torso atop your right thighs. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge from your hip spine length, reaching towards your right toes. Take another round of breath here. Engage your core. Inhale, walk yourself back up. Drawing both feet so that they're facing one another, coming towards a cobbler's pose. Your legs are splayed out wide towards the sides. And the closer you draw your heels in towards your groin, the more of a stretch you'll feel in your inner thighs. You can lengthen your spine up long here. Feeling bright and open. Or we can even find a fold from here, hinging again at our hips. We can press our elbows gently into our calves to lower our hips even closer towards the ground. Again, only going to our depth today. Take another round of breath here. On your next inhale, engage your core, lift yourself back up. Close your knees up towards the midline. Bring yourself off that blanket if you found one. And we're going to simply rock and roll our way down towards our back, or make a nice slow transition. Hugging our knees into our chest once we get there. Maybe we want to sway from side to side. If you're farther along in your pregnancy, you might want to actually place that blanket beneath your back to create a little extra cushion for not allowing the baby to impinge on your vena cava. But we won't stay here long. Let's draw our feet down onto the mat, right up towards our buttocks. You can lengthen your fingers down towards your heels and snuggle your shoulder blades underneath you. We're going to find a bridge pose here. So on an inhale breath, ground down through your heels and lift your hip points upwards, bringing your chest up towards your chin and your chin reaches up towards the sky. Activating in your legs so that your legs aren't swaying out towards the sides. They're in towards the midline and line with your feet. Take another deep breath in and use your exhale to slowly lower yourself down onto your mat. Going through some cat-cow tilts at the bottom. Again, how that's performed is an inhale breath, curling your tailbone down and towards the mat, creating a small arch in your lower back for cow. Exhale, rounding your tailbone up and printing your spine into the mat instead for cat. Again, going at that at your own pace. Just massaging the spine. Once you're ready, let's find a neutral position in our hips. Find length down towards our fingertips into our heels. Ground down through our feet and inhale, lifting your hip points up. Once again, bridge pose. We can stay here, or you can even clasp your hands underneath, allowing your heart to raise even higher up towards your chin. Your chin up towards the sky. If pregnant, this is still a safe back bend to do, as this is more of a gentler version still. Another deep inhalation, and exhale, slowly lower yourself back down. Going through your cat-cow tilts at the bottom. Now we're going to do one more bridge pose here, or if you'd like, this is your last option for a bridge. If wheel poses in your practice, you can do that now, but I only recommend you do that if you know what wheel pose is and you've gone there before. If you are pregnant, I caution you on doing full wheel pose depending on how far along you are in your pregnancy, as our tendons and ligaments are already being stretched out a lot. Our abdominals are already stretching out a lot, so this will only stretch it even more. So maybe staying in that bridge pose might be a better solution, but it's completely up to you. All right, let's prepare for our last round. We'll inhale, ground down through our hips, heels, lifting your hip points up. Maybe we clasp our hands underneath, or we find full bridge or wheel if they're in a practice. Another round of breath here, lifting really high up in your hip points. Exhale, slowly lower yourself down. Go through a couple more cat-cow tilts at the bottom. Once you're satisfied with that, Let's bring your feet to the edges of our mat and do some windshield wipers. You can bring your arms out to a T or more of a cactus if you'd like. And you're just going to simply exhale your legs off in one direction. Inhale them up towards center. And exhale them off in the opposite direction. Again, using your breath, you inhale yourself up. Exhale, legs lower. And your gaze can go in the opposite direction that your legs are, completing this twist. Another option here will be bringing your legs up so your shins are parallel to the earth. You simply lower your legs off towards one side this way, and that. It's a little bit more of an intense twist, but that's another option. You can do any other last minute poses here if you'd like. You can continue doing any windshield wipers. Or if you're ready, you can find your way to full Shavasana. Sending your legs out long on your mat. Arms are down towards your sides, palms facing up. If you're in your second trimester or farther, I recommend finding a nice side lying position, preferably on your left. You can even bring a blanket to go in between your knees here. But we'll be staying here for a couple of minutes, coming back to our breath. If any thoughts arise, simply acknowledge them and allow them to pass. Coming back to stillness, allowing the nutrients of this practice to really sink in. Slowly bring your awareness back to this room. Visualize your body on the mat. Start by making small movements with your toes and your fingertips, your wrists and your ankles, before giving one last big stretch all the way up overhead, taking up space on your mat, and curling everything inwards, giving yourself one last hug. Rocking from either side to find fetal pose on your left or your right. Thanking yourself for showing up on the mat today. And thanking your bodies and muscles for all the work that they've just done for you. And when you're ready in your own time, you can come on up towards a seated position. Eyes can remain closed or a soft gaze out in front of you. And you can bring your hands towards your heart. I invite you to join me in doing a universal vibration of Om. Taking a deep inhalation, a complete exhalation, an inhalation to prepare. The light within me honors and respects the light within each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today in this slow flow Vinyasa practice. I hope that you very much enjoyed yourself. You can allow the thoughts that we've had throughout this practice to help you decide how you'd like to spend this uncertain time, whether it be to get you down a little bit in the dumps, or if you'd like, you can use this time to completely remake yourself and to a new and brighter version of you. Thank you for joining me.